Hi, welcome back to Raunchy Reality Recaps. Now, in this video, we're going over the whole Danny Masterson thing with Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, and all that. So, we all know apparently Danny Masterson was charged and convicted on 2 counts of assault. I don't know if I'm trying to say that YouTube friendly. But he was charged with 2 counts and he's serving 30 to life because he got 15 on each charge. And so he's going to be serving 30 to life. Now, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, who we all know were co-stars on the set of that 70s show and apparently have stayed friends with Danny over the years, wrote in to the judge to kind of, give him a character and, leading, urging the judge to, have some leniency on his sentencing and everything like that. Yeah, hot water. So, let's go over a little bit of what Ashton and Mila said. Now, I got this article from the Hollywood Life article. I'll try to put it up there as well to show you everything. I'll add a link also. Now, it says that they were among over 50 people that sent in letters to them. And also, I don't have any other letters. I'll try to look them up. But apparently some first responders wrote in from his work he did after September 11th in New York. And then also crew members, cast and crew of the shows, and also Kitty and Red, the actors that played Kitty and Red Foreman in the show, they also wrote in as well. Now, this is what Ashton and Mila wrote. Now, well, again, we'll just go over it from this article because I don't want to go over the whole thing, but I'll also link, I think, Popcorn Planet. They went over the whole letter. So if you want to look into that, definitely as well. And I'll also be linking a channel called Growing Up Scientology because he actually went into full detail of everything with this trial and also an incident that we're going to get into later in this video also with Ashton. Now, in Ashton's letter, he said that the ranch co-star was positive influence on him. He referred to Danny as a role model. Both he and Mila spoke about Danny's stance against drug use. Ashton also shared an anecdote about a time he saw Danny defend a woman who was being berated in a pizza parlor. He also highlighted his I'm horrible at saying words sometimes. Philanthropic work for firefighters. It said that Danny takes his job seriously. He is kind, courteous, and hardworking, he wrote. I can honestly say that no matter where we were or who we were with, I never saw my friend, be anything other than the guy I have described. He concluded his letter by asking the judge to consider his statement. While I'm aware that the judgment has been cast as guilt on 2 counts of R by Forrest and the victims have great desire for justice, I hope that my testament to his character is taken into consideration in sentencing. He wrote, I do not believe he is an ongoing harm to society, and having his daughter raised without a present father would be a terrier injustice in and of itself. Which I got to say that if he R words women and it's not and it's not just one person, especially, I mean, even if it's just one person, if it's not, I mean, he has several instances of this happening. If he's around other women in society, he's kind of still a danger, and I mean, come on. Anywho, Mila wrote on hers, in Mila's letter, she referred to Danny as an older brother figure. She and her husband also praised his abilities as a father while speaking about his positive qualities. His caring nature and ability to offer guidance have been instrumental in my growth, both personally and professionally. She wrote, I wholeheartedly vouch for Danny Masterson's exceptional character and tremendous positive influence he had on me and the people around him. So basically, they were just trying to say he's this great person. Great dad, great friend, no non-drug addict and all this stuff. So yeah, I don't. I mean, they were. Oh, I really don't think they expected this to get out. I don't think they expected for people to be able to find these letters, which, I mean, didn't we find Doss Duggar's like letters that his family and like Anna wrote him and everything? I mean, those were left out for everybody to see. So I don't know why they thought that somehow theirs wouldn't be able to be seen. Yeah. So they end up getting in a lot of hot water, rightfully so, about this. And then they did some weird apology video, which like was one of the worst apology videos I ever seen, you know, besides, you know, the whole ukulele video. And they basically said, we are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson. We support the victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future, Mila then added. Ashton went on to say that Danny's family reached out to them and asked them to write letters to represent the person we knew for 25 years. The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the judge's ruling, Mila said before Ashton added. They were intended for the judge to read and not undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any ways. We would never want to do that, and we're sorry that has taken place. Which, I mean, the second you were writing that letter, you should have known it was. I mean, anybody ever tell them it's not a good idea? Which I'm sitting here thinking, why would you risk your whole career over a guy that hasn't really had a career? I mean, he was in That 70 Show and The Ranch. Yeah, he had a career. I'll give him that. But it's not like he was super famous. Like, I mean, he wasn't. It's not like he was Ashton Kutcher or Mila Kunis. Everybody knows him. And I think everybody now knows Danny Masterson. But yeah, you remember him as a guy from That 70 Show or The Ranch. Not Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, where they've done a lot of things. So I'm just sitting here wondering, yeah, like, this guy was already guilty. He was found guilty. He was going anyways, and he already had apparently 50 people write character letters. So I'm sorry, but if you did it, there's a lot of evidence, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, you were my friend, but it kind of seems like from the evidence you did all this awful stuff. And sorry, but I'm not risking my whole career to write a letter. You got other people doing it. You'll be fine. You know. So again, I'm sitting here wondering why Mila and Ashton are willing to ruin their careers for this guy. You know, this guy who's obviously done some horrible stuff. But I kind of found out why. Now, as I told you earlier, this guy that has a channel on YouTube, Growing Up Scientology, he apparently kind of had a video explaining why Danny Masterson might have something over Ashton Kutcher's head. Now, in the video, and again, I'll link it, he alleges that Ashton Kutcher, this trial that he had he was part of a year ago as a witness, where he took on the stand and told told his testimony. This woman that her life was taken very brutally back in 2001, of February 2001. Ashton was supposed to go and pick her up for a date, and from his account on the testimony, he said that he looked through the window. Nobody answered the door, so he looked through the window, saw something what he thought was a wine stain on the floor, and then he left. And the next day, he apparently found out, I guess from the police or so, that the girl her life was brutally taken, and that wasn't a wine stain. That's what he put on testimony. Well, this guy in the Growing Up Scientology alleges that that's not what happened. Ashton went in there, saw the girl on the floor. He didn't brutally take this girl's life at all. He was just there. He didn't do anything. But according to this guy, he went in there, saw the girl, panic like anybody else, went out to his car, sat in his car for over an hour while he was talking, I guess, to his agents and also Danny Masterson. And apparently he was told to go to the party he was supposed to be going that night and don't say anything. Okay, so that's what this guy alleges in the video. Now, everybody's like, well, what's going on? Well, apparently, one of the girls that made the allegations against Danny, one of his victims, they came out and spoke out against Ashton Kutcher after this whole thing with their whole apology video and everything. She actually came out and spoke against him. And let me get that one. Now, she wrote that in her post, she wrote, "Dear Ashton, I hope that Dear Ashton, sorry, let me start over again. Dear Ashton, I know the secrets your role model keeps for you, ones that would end you," Chrissy wrote, referring to Ashton calling Danny a role model in his letter in her post. She also claimed to have heard everything, hinting at a secretive phone call between the actors on February 21st of 2001. "I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your mentor," she added. She also wrote in a section specifically for Mila, who has been married to Ashton since 2015. "Dear Mila, I pray that you begin to process what you experienced as a child on that set." She began, "Your old interviews are very telling. I encourage everyone to watch them and decide for yourself what you hear and see. Do so before they get scrubbed from the internet. I also know what happened in Toronto and after. If that's what you view as a normal relationship with a big brother figure, then I feel very sad for you. I hope you consider getting into therapy," she continued before adding, "You all must forget I was there the whole time those first 5 years of that 70s show. I remember everything." And then she went on to post clips of old interviews featuring Danny, Ashton, and Mila. One included an appearance on the Rosie O'Donnell show where Mila admitted she caught Ashton making a side bet with Danny. Danny goes to him and goes, "Dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kissed her," she said. Another showed Mila sitting on Ashton's lap when she was a teenager while they were promoting that 70s show. "And it feels good, and I like it a lot," Ashton said, while laughing and grabbing the actress who was giggling and screaming. Danny was also highlighted in an interview and talked about meeting then 14-year-old Mila when he first got the role on the show. 14, she was even hotter then, if I'm allowed to say that. So, yeah. So we got one where Danny was betting Ashton to French kiss Mila when she was like 14 or 15, and they were a lot older than her. I think they were adults at the time. French kissing her, a child, a 14-year-old, and then another one where he's sitting on her lap in that. And also, he's admitting to saying that he thought a 14-year-old was hotter than she was an adult. Like, did I miss this as a kid? Because, holy crap, like, the stuff you don't realize that happened, like, only 20 years ago, it's just amazing. It's crazy. And also one of these things where Ashton was talking about how they're waiting for Hillary and the Olsen twins to turn 18. And I remember that being a big thing with the Olsen twins. Like, everybody's waiting for them to turn 18. And even back then when I'm the same age as the Olsen twins, I thought it was gross at that age. I mean, come on. Yeah, so, and to go back where the girl first started, Chrissy was writing about a phone call. That's what I want to talk about. That phone call was, what everybody's assuming is the night that girl, I think it was Ashley Ellerin, her life was brutally taken. And that's the phone call that I think she's talking about. So yeah, that girl she knows some stuff. She knows what went on. At least that's what she's claiming. And it's just, y'all, it is crazy the deeper we get into this. And I mean, the stuff's out there on the internet. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see more really, really damaging videos. And I kind of want to know what happened to Toronto as well. So yeah, if you think they run in packs. They run in packs, these people like this. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if the people that Danny hung around with are either just like him or they excuse his behavior, because it happens a lot. And I seen an article where it's talking about Christina Ricci. She said something about how she knows, she knows awesome guys too that are really great, but they are horrible men. They're horrible people that are predators. And just because you have these awesome guys don't mean they're not predators. And these guys that hang around these other guys that are predators, and then they don't say anything, don't, excuse their actions, in the end, you're just as bad as the dude that committed the crime. If you're literally hanging around him, knowing what he's doing, you're saying nothing, and you're still having, how can you have fun with somebody like that? Why? Because they're famous? They've been your friend for years and years? Come on. No, sir. No. But anyways, that's what I wanted to bring. A lot of information. If y'all want me to keep up to date on this, please let me know. Happy to dig into it for y'all. So like, subscribe, and share, and y'all have a great day.